Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's South Street Post. How you doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream, guys. I'm Sal Warner. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you are new, and smash a like on the video if you could be as kind to do that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. What you guys been up to today? What's wagwaning? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? I hope you've all been well. I hope you have had a fantastic evening last night. I, for one, you know what? I had an early night last night. I thought, you know what? Let me have an early night. You know what I mean? Take it easy a little bit because you know me. I always work so hard, don't I? I'm always working hard, guys. You know what Salesy is like, of course, guys. I work very hard, you guys. So you know what? It's really great to have you guys here with me this morning, of course, etc. etc. Let me just answer this tweet real quickly, and then we get into it real quick if we can do that. Absolutely. We're ready to go, We're raring to go, guys. Let me answer some of your tweets, guys. Let me just put the graphic on. There we go. Let me answer some of your tweets, guys. Absolutely. Big up. What's cooking in the frying pan, Sal? Greetings and good afternoon. Good morning to you, Jim. Good morning, my friend. How you doing, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Really good to see you. Let's read that. Rasta, what's going on? Good morning, Sal. Bless up on the live, my friend. Big up, Rasta. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you, mate. I love the jacket you got all seen red. I'm all red today. I'm all red. Yeah, I'm all red today. I thought I'd go red. Absolutely. All represents Man United, of course. The training was very intense. I like what I saw. The manager was on the pitch training with them. I like that, giving the instructions to follow. Absolutely. Big up, Pearl. How you doing? Midway through the day in Singapore. It's only 11 a.m. here in the UAE, guys. We're not quite that far on in the day, guys. But you know what? In some places, it is early in the morning, of course, guys. It is early in the morning in some places, isn't it? But not in the UAE. It is like literally a decent time. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, of course, guys. Good morning, Ichichi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. Good to see everyone. Now, guys, let's get dived straight into the news, of course. Rumors circulating around Manchester United and Victor Osimhen again. You remember Victor Osimhen? You remember that name? The Nigerian international Victor Osimhen, highly rated, of course, when Napoli won the league a year ago and was one of the most sought-after attackers in the game. Now, Manchester United are about to test Napoli's resolve again. Of course, Victor Osimhen is on loan at Galatasaray. So easy for you to say, Galatasaray. Can you say that like that? Galatasaray. Can you say it? I can. Absolutely. Yeah, so Victor Osimhen is obviously on loan at Galatasaray. And basically, Man United want to test Napoli's resolve. Manchester United are willing to offer an offer in the region of 30 to 45 million euros, which for me, you know what would you say in regards to that? Would that be a snip? Would that be a good deal? I would take that. I haven't stopped from the moment last year. I've always believed in Victor Osimhen. I know he had a poor season last season, but I always felt that he was a great player. I always felt that he would fit our team very well. He's got that strength. He's got that ability to hold up the ball. He's got experience of winning as well, guys. And I've always believed, he would fit Manchester United. But of course, the price tag at the time was a stumbling block. Now that his contract is running out, of course, guys, and he is on loan at Galatasaray, it hasn't really worked out for him the last year or so. He could be going to Manchester United. What do you guys think about that? Would you put money into that deal? You know what? An experienced striker, a guy who's proven to score goals. What do you think of it, guys? What do you think? GG, 8 a.m. here now. Big up Nigeria, friends and family. Of course, guys, big up. Don't get him. Jonathan, yeah, absolutely. Sal, the red United jacket goes so well with the jersey. The background adds other colors. Big up, Jim. Absolutely. I just threw anything on, guys. Honest to God, I just threw anything on. And I thought, you know what, just wear this, go with it. Just go with it. Make it work. Absolutely. GG. Yes, it's definitely going to be able to sign Osimhen, though his fee might be up to 50 million. Rumour is Man United can get a discount fee of 30 million to 45 million euros, which is not too bad, guys. That's not too bad of a price for Victor Osimhen or someone of that quality. He hasn't performed well the last year. He has fallen out with members of the Napoli board and fans, etc. So you know what? They might be willing to offload him quickly. Victor Osimhen's contract does expire. I believe it expires in 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that for you, because obviously, let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look at this. contract expiry. I believe it is. I've been told it is absolutely. Let's have a look. So, no, it's 2026 expires. So it's not too long, guys. Not too long. So we could be going for a price, obviously. Depends on how much money the club has to spend because of FFP. But what we do need is an experienced striker. What the thing is, who are we going to sell? We know who we need to sell, Rasta, don't we? We do know who we need to sell, and who, whether we do that or not is another story. We need to sell Marcus Rashford. We really do. We need to sell that player. We need to make some money. There's a couple of other players in there. Obviously, Maguire's could be leaving the club, obviously, in the last year of his contract. Lindelof in the last year of his contract. Evans won't be signing a new contract. Ericsson will be in the last year of his contract as well. So that, there's a number of players who are going to leave, which will help our FFP in regards to that because of wages, etc. Wages do count towards FFP as well. So that is important. So we will have room for that, of course. Don't expect Man United to go absolutely crazy this summer. We're definitely not going to sign anyone in January like significant. It might be a loan, but in the summer, ignore the rumors, ignore the media outcry. We are going to spend some money. I don't think Ineos are going to go into this summer with their new manager and not back the manager. This is their new toy, basically. This is their guy. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to let him down. I'm sure they're not going to let him down. Absolutely not. And I believe that, they will back him, and they will back him significantly. And I think that, and they did say at the beginning of last summer that basically this window will not be a one-off. The way they back Ten Hag, the window will not be a one-off. This will be occurring every single year. So that is exciting in regards to that. I believe it when I see it. Of course, I've heard a lot of things in regards to Man United, in regards to the Glazers, and obviously in the past we've had bad experiences, haven't we? So obviously we're going to be a little bit skeptical about things, and we're going to be a little bit worried about what's going forward. But I do believe that Ineos want this to work. They spent a lot of money in getting Rubin Amorim through the door, of course. And you know what? 25 million upwards. I don't think they'll be doing that if they didn't want to back. If they felt they're just going to get a manager in and just leave him there to dry and leave, slaughters to the lamb, so to speak. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they will back that manager. It's very unfair for a manager to come into a football club and like, right, you got those players there. You have to keep those players. You have to make it work. Bang. It's not fair, is it, at the end of the day? Especially those are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer players. Those are Louis van Gaal players. Those are Jose Mourinho players. It's not fair on Rubin Amorim. He's going to need his own players in there. But not only his own players, he needs to have the power to get rid of some of those, powerful names at the football club right now. We got a lot of people at the football club, players at the football club who, are invincible, so to speak. Or it almost feels like they're invincible. Now, one of the most positive things that occurred over the summer, and whether you agree with it or not, is Scott McTominay leaving the club, because I never felt that Scott McTominay was the right fit for Manchester United. I didn't. I think he's perfect for Napoli. The league is much more slower and much more pedestrian. So that's, in my opinion, that was a good deal. It's about time we did that a little bit more. It's about time we moved on and got, sell some of the other players. If Marcus Rashford did leave the club, it's going to upset a few people. There is a Marcus Rashford FC, of course. Let's not forget, But what I would say is that he's going to have to leave if we're going to have to progress. If we progress, if we want to progress, it's out with the old, in with the new, really, isn't it? And that means everything. That means everything. We have to look at players who've underwhelmed, who've not performed over the decade, some of them. A near decade, some of those players have been at the football club. It's ridiculous when you think about it. A decade. Some of those players are going after their testimonial, guys. You know what I mean? Marcus Rashford is entitled to a testimonial very soon in a couple of years. Luke Shaw is already entitled to a testimonial this year, coming up. 10 years. Can you believe it? Phil Jones had the testimonial. He was due for a testimonial as well. When you're at the football club 10 years, you get a testimonial. It's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it, that those players could have a testimonial at Man United. Can you believe that? Absolutely. Jim, Sal, you saw something from Mark Goldbridge thumbnail saying no money, no more for Amorim. I think for January window, I hope it's true. Yeah, it's just for January transfer window, Jim. There is money. There is money in the key. As I said before, people were saying, oh, we ain't got the money to sack Ten Hag. I told you guys we've got the money to sack Ten Hag. The money is in one side. They didn't really want to keep Erik ten Hag at the end of last season, but their hand was forced. But they had money put to one side to get rid of Erik ten Hag. They have money for the transfers, trust me. January might be difficult, of course. January, I don't think we're going to splash the cash. I think that the players we have right now, they're going to be tried and tested. Of course, guys, they're going to be tried and tested. Now, many of these players that we have been on international duty, of course, are not training with Rubin Amorim at the moment. Rubin Amorim, of course, took his first training session yesterday. It looked all smiles, all positive. And the one thing about it, you saw Rubin Amorim. You just saw him you saw him there thinking, looking, and you just got that air of that guy knows what he's doing. Finally, we have a manager who knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? And he was there like this, looking at the players, observing the players. But there's a couple of things I wanted to say in regards to in regards to some of these players who have been on international duty. It is a blessing in disguise. Why is it a blessing in disguise? It's because he's got a chance to see some young players. He's got a chance to see some young players. And you know what? Godwill Kokonki, a 16-year-old defender, was at training yesterday. And which is fantastic because Rubin Amorim is going to see some of the talent that we have in the reserves in the youth team. Kokonki is a huge unit for his age, for a 16-year-old. And he's been brought straight into training, first team training with Rubin Amorim. I'm excited about that because at the end of the day, yes, those players have gone on international duty, but it has given Rubin Amorim a chance to look at those players. And you know what? Who knows? He might say, do you know that player there? He's brilliant. Let's bring him into the squad. And that is the good thing about it. That is the positive about having some players on international duty, that other players will get opportunities to shine in training. Thwaites as well. He was there as well. Another 16-year-old. And that is exciting, of course, guys. And you know what? I firmly believe that going forward, Rubin Amorim is going to bring in quite a few players, guys. I really do think that over the next year or so, we're going to see a lot of players coming in. We're going to see a lot of players leaving, of course, guys. Big up. Uchichi. Mr. Sal, I think Marmouche is a great still. He's good enough to play for now. He's good. He's one of the best attacking players in Europe at the moment. Omar Mamouche, but he's also wanted by Liverpool. So if we are going to target Omar Mamouche, we have to act quickly. He does play in that number 10 kind of winger sort of role, so it will fit Rubin Amorim's system. I have mentioned Mamouche a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. Man United are interested in him. Man United do have a list of players that they do want, and come the summer, Man United will be exploring avenues on getting these players, obtaining those players. So what Man United do basically is that they'll have a list of players and we'll go after the players one by one by one. And whatever we're successful with, we'll be successful with. Mamouche is a great player statistically. His stats, his goal scoring is brilliant. And you know what? He would be a great buy for Manchester United if we're being honest. Plays in Germany at the moment, I believe. Eintracht Frankfurt, I believe he's playing for. So at the end of the day, you know what? Good player, but a number of players are on Ineos' wish list at the moment of goals. Big up, Jim, big up. Uchichi Osman is better than Højlund, Xerxes combined. He will smash the goals. Uchichi, we have to remember that obviously Højlund and Xerxes are young players. Let's obviously be fair, Uchichi, of course. They're young players. I believe in Højlund, definitely. I can understand in January not spending as big, and traditionally we don't do a lot of business. No, we don't. We get some players, but not absolutely. We might get a loan, but obviously we have signed some big players in January in the past, like Bruno, like Andy Cole, for example, players like that. But I don't think it will happen this season, Jim. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think it will happen. So, but we should send Xerxes on loan, as we only signed him in the summer and will not look good. You know what, Sniper Man, it remains to be seen. I do believe that a lot of these players are going to get another chance under Rubin Amorim. We can say safely that Xerxes has not been given a fair chance at Man United. Let's be quite honest here. You know, he hasn't had a consistent run in the team, which is obviously going to add weight unto his inconsistencies because he hasn't had enough chances in the team. I don't think we're going to loan out anyone. I don't think we're going to sell anyone till the end of the season because Rubin Amorim does want to see every single player. He wants to analyze every single player. Of course, he's going to be told as well from Ineos that Xerxes, we've just signed Xerxes. Xerxes is a new player, etc. So I don't think we'll be getting rid of him, in my opinion. But I agree with you, Sniper Man. If we do get rid of Xerxes, we have to loan him out rather than selling him because you never know. He's only 23. He might come good, of course. Sal, the 6-year-old, already 6'5". Sniper man, you've seen it, brother. You've seen it, mate. The guy's a unit. That's Kokonki. Guys, remember the name Kokonki. I mentioned him at the beginning of the season. A player that I'm a fan of course, guys. Remember Kokonki. Goodness me. Rubin Amorim has an eye for talent, and his team have an eye for talent, guys. Look at that straight away. You got a couple of players there. Why did Rubin Amorim go to Carrington? You know what I mean? He went to Carrington before he got his visa. He wanted to have a look at the youth team. He wanted to check out some of those players. Do you know what I mean? Great, obviously. I mean, I'm really positive, guys. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm really enthusiastic and positive about the future. Do you know what I mean? And that is how I'm going to remain until proven otherwise, of course. Sniperman, also, Sal, I had a bad dream. We lost 3-1. Mate, don't be like that, mate. Sniperman, leave it at, brother. Don't worry about your dreams, mate. Sometimes, you know, dreams, sometimes they mean the complete opposite. Sometimes dreams mean the complete opposite, of course. Absolutely. That sounds sights out with these youngsters. Absolutely, Jim. It does. Gutierrez should be number one priority. We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. He's going to cost a lot of money. He's going to cost a lot more than Victor Osimhen, of course. But you know what? Also, we have to give chances to Obi Martin. Many Man United fans are very excited about signings and signings only. You know what I mean? We're crying about 17-year-olds and stuff who play for other clubs. We've got our own youth team. Let's not forget. We've got great players who play in our youth team right now. Let's not forget Obi Martin. Let's not forget Kone. Let's not forget these type of players that are 17 years old and 18 years old and 19 years old who are going to be great players. You know what? It's the new toy syndrome. We cannot go into that territory, right? Gutierrez is a great player, and obviously he would love to come from Man United, and Rubin Amorim would love to have him. But who's to say that he can't make Højlund the Gutierrez? Who's to say that? You know what I mean? Who's to say that Højlund can't become that player? Let's not forget that Gutierrez was a reject by Brighton. Let's not forget. He didn't really set the world alight in England, you know, but Rubin Amorim made him into the player he is. I personally believe that Højlund's ceiling is higher. I believe he can become a fantastic striker. I really do. So I do believe we have to believe in these players, but I also believe that we have to bring in an experienced striker as well to complement Rasmus Højlund, because Rasmus Højlund is a good player, of course. Absolutely. Soggy Beers, big up, Kazi. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. So, morning, brother. Hope you're well, friend. Hi, everyone. Please hit those like, subscribe buttons. We also go to 5,000 subscribers, guys. Let's get it up to 5,000 subscribers. Let's get it in, guys. We're nearly there. 100 away, guys. Come on. Come on. So, if Bruno or Rashford don't perform, don't think Amorim will drop them. I hope so, Jim. I really do hope so. I think that I believe in there shouldn't be any favoritism in regards to these players. You know, I hope that he does. And, you know, we don't know at the moment the thinking of Rubin Amorim, what he's going to do going forward. But one thing I've heard about Rubin Amorim is he is the silent assassin. He does drop you. If you don't perform, if you don't abide by his tactics, he will drop you. And you know what? I'm excited to see that. We had a picture of, obviously, Marcus Rashford yesterday saying, loved training. It was a great training session. How long would that last? Do you know what I mean? We've seen that before from Marcus, haven't we? Hopefully it continues, and hopefully he performs for Manchester United, and hopefully he gets some goals for Man United and he performs for the badge. I really do hope so, because at the moment, you know what, I'm getting a little bit disillusioned with Marcus Rashford, if I'm being honest. I really do hope that he performs for the football club now. Absolutely. We should get him ASAP and contest Haaland in corners. So how was your day today? How's your family? Very well, mate. I haven't spoken to my family yet, but you know what, family very well. Thank you, Jim, for asking. You legend. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Cannot speak negatively. We are Man United. We got new start. Let's just focus on the new start. Absolutely cannot. We shouldn't be speaking negatively now. Absolutely not. I would be weird. That'd be weird, of course. Good morning, guys. Sniperman Rasta. Big up everyone in the chat, of course. Big up. I've heard we put 100 million bid on Lookman. No, we don't want Lookman 100 million. Rasmus Højlund's better. I don't want that. But good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. If we're going to spend money, we're going to spend it on a midfielder, not 100 million. We're not going to be spending that money on someone like Lookman. He's not worth that money. He's 40, 50 tops. Absolutely. 27 likes. Big up, Sanjay. Thank you so much. Can we get to 40 likes by the end of the show? Let's see if we can do that. Conte, Chido, Amas, and Montanto can really be the next big thing. Watch out for Rubin Amorim. That man will cause problems for the top 4 teams. Gloria, I love the comment, my friend. Exactly. These players need to be remembered. Do not forget we have young players of our own, very good ones as well. So we have to believe in those players. You know what? It's the exciting thing, the new toy syndrome, to go after a player who's brought, who doesn't play for us. But we need to remember that we have a conveyor belt of young players who are fantastic, who are the future. There's a lot of the rivals should be scared of Man United. I'm telling you right now, I'm not getting overly giddy. I'm not getting overly excited, but I do believe that the rivals should be scared of Man United right now. I honestly, because we got Rubin Amorim. Look at Rubin Amorim in training, guys. I don't know about you. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but he just is this aura about him that, you know what, he knows what he is doing. He knows what he wants. He's got everything all organized. Everything is ready. He's standing there. He's on his knees looking like this. Rather than just his hands in his pockets having a look. You can see he's getting involved. You can see that he's ready. You know what I mean? He's ready to make history, guys. Thankfully, we're only 4 points off the top 4 positions, guys. That is great. That is nothing amount of points, of course. We can redeem that in no time, of course, guys. So thankfully, we're in a good position in regards to, not good position, but we're not too far away. We're not a million miles away from the top 4, which is a good thing, of course, guys. How you doing, Weaver 7 UK? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Hoyland is still 21. When Gora goes to 21, he's struggling exactly to get game time in Brighton's under 21s. Players develop at different rates. Absolutely, Weaver 7, spot on, my friend. And this is one thing we have to remember. It's very easy to drift away from who we have at the moment. Rasmus Højlund a year ago, was the top scorer in the Champions League. So that basically means that he has the capabilities to do that, of course. The only thing is young players will never be consistent. You have to believe in them. You have to bring them in. You have to gradually bring them in. But a lot of our players at the moment, the young players in particular, have been burdened with this Manchester United that have been underachieving. And they've had the weight of the world on their shoulders, of course. Over the last year, over the last 2 years, the weight of the world has been on those players' shoulders, of course. And you know what? We have to believe in them, bring them in gradually. Yes, we do need players. Yes, we do need to bring at least one striker in, an experienced striker. But let's not forget who we got. And as you said, Reverse 7, at 21, Rasmus Højlund was not, Xerxes Gutierrez, should I say, was not where he wants to be. You know what I mean? And that is absolutely correct. Many people will throw at us. They'll throw this thing at us, this same argument that, oh, look at Lamine Yamal, look at Lamine Yamal. But every player develops differently. David Beckham developed 2021, the same thing. These kind of players, Scholes as well. Ryan Giggs 16. It is different for every player. Every player has a different body, has a different development in regards to them. Can't paint everyone with the same brush, of course. Man United, every single player is going to develop at a different time, but they will develop, and you have to give them time. I remember Darren Fletcher came to Man United team, and I was like on the forums. Back then it was the forums. There's no social media. I was on the forums saying, oh, we got to get rid of Darren Fletcher. He's useless, blah, blah, blah. He proved me wrong. He became a great player, but it did take time. He had chance after chance after chance, granted, but he did become a great player. 22, 23, he started to get really good, and he became a very, very important figure in our midfield under Sir Alex Ferguson, of course, guys. Absolutely. Good comment, my friend. Good comment, Reece 7. Absolutely. I wasn't told to see more money, Anthony. We might get rid of Anthony. Who knows? Good morning, by the way. I would say this, guys. I would say this, that in Rubin Amorim's setup in training yesterday, Anthony played as a right wing back. I would say that. Anthony played in that position. Right winger, right wing back. So he was the one tracking back like this, guys. It was right winger, right wing back. Anthony was playing in that position. Now, people will argue that, none of the squad are back yet. A lot of the squad are in international duty, etc., etc., etc. But that does give you a clue that he's not playing fullbacks as the right back, as the left back wing positions. He's not doing that. That gives you a clue, doesn't it? And I've been saying that for the last week, that it will be wingers on the right, on the left, whether that's Rashford, Ahmad, Garnacho, or Anthony. It will be wingers on that side, of course, guys. So let's see how that develops. Rubin Amorim is very brave. He's very bold to do that. It is only training. We'll have to wait and see till the other players come back into the side, and then we can obviously make a more accurate judgment as to where his team's going to be. But one thing about yesterday, which is fantastic, and I cannot stress enough, I cannot emphasize enough, is that you young players were given a chance, and those players who were given a chance have a chance to impress Rubin Amorim. And that's great, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you know what? Who knows who's going to be the next player through? Who knows? It could be another one coming through next week. It could be a player coming through against Ipswich Town. We don't know that. There might be a new player on the bench. But you know what? Kakunki, he is absolute an animal, guys. An animal. And I've never seen a 16-year-old that big. Honest to God, I've never seen a 16-year-old that big, if I'm being honest with you. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Sanjay, very much, my friend. Thank you very much for that. You legend. Thank you. Jim Gray, it's after 5 p.m. I'm having dinner soon. Big up, Jim. Enjoy your dinner, my friend. JCF, does Rashford have a chance in the contract that guarantees selection? Clause in the contract that guarantees selection. Do you know what? Your guess is as good as mine, JCF. You know what? Contracts are obviously, very confidential. And we don't really have a look at what's on the contract, the stipulations in regards to the contract. But one thing you would say, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a stipulation on the contract that Marcus Rashford has to play a certain amount of games. I'm talking about 40-50% of the games he has to play, which is why he plays. And this is one thing that we have to remember, that these things do happen on contracts. These stipulations are on contracts. So sometimes these players do have to play. They're obliged to play, and that's one thing we have to remember when it comes to, these players and Manchester United, Marcus Rashford, Bruno, and these type of players. They do have these stipulations on their contracts. Obviously, Rashford has been poor for 18 months or so. He does need to pick it up. We got to stop. We're not, we're not a sympathy act football club. We got to move on in regards to that. And we have to move on in regards to injury-prone players. We have to go in regards to inconsistencies, constant inconsistencies. Loads of players are inconsistent, but it's the amount of inconsistencies that you output. And Marcus Rashford is too inconsistent. Hasn't played for 18 months. He will have a good game. No doubt about it, guys. Mark my words right now, guys. Marcus Rashford will have a brilliant game against Ipswich or against Everton or against Bodo Glimt. He will have a brilliant game. And then you will see like it slowly, gradually go down and down and down. And the performances will drop, of course, guys, which is disappointing. I hope he does prove me wrong. Of course, JCF is a member of the royal family, so yeah, he's a Rockefeller. Marcus was horrible in training again. Thumbs up to Malacia, was fresh and like Euro. And sure, that has been silent. Big up. Yeah, big up Malacia. Hopefully he does some bits, of course. Big up, so you lovely friend. Best up, you lovely person, Jim. Thank you very much, my friend. Absolutely good to see you. Aura, absolutely. Yeah, Aura. Yeah, press the like, people, and subscribe to the greatest community in the world. Big up, Jim. Absolutely, I agree. Sal, did you see the Ten Hag do skills while training? I did, yes, I did. You haven't seen a video of him doing those head-ups and stuff like that. He does. He's a very skillful player, Erik Ten Hag. He is. Amorim is one of the best young coaches in the world. I'm inside. I think he's the best revert 7. I wouldn't swap him for the world at the moment. If someone said to me right now, Sal, would you swap Rubin Amorim for anyone in the world? I'll say absolutely not. No chance at all. I'm not swapping him. I think he's the best young manager in Europe. I really do. Actually, really do. Why Everton never did positioning training? It's very important. There's a number of issues in regards to his training, but you know what? I wish obviously Erik Ten Hag the best of luck. I don't want to bring it back to Erik Ten Hag, of course, because Erik Ten Hag's no longer at the club, and you know what? We have to show him respect and wish him the best of luck in his future endeavours. I hope he's successful wherever he goes, of course. Guys, never forget Højlund overperformed last season. If we compare the services he's got, absolutely. Now, guys, I did say, right, I'm going to say this to you guys, all right? And I've mentioned this before. In 1 year, right, Rasmus Højlund had 1 point shots per game, right? It puts him in the bottom 2% of all strikers across Europe's 5 major leagues in shots taken, right? He also ranks in the bottom 6% for passes received, okay? But his goal conversion is in the top 5 strikers in Europe. So that means give him supply, give him balls, he will score goals. He has the biggest input in all top 5 strikers in Europe. Top 5 strikers in Europe in regards to goal conversion. What does that tell you? He has in this 2%. He's in the bottom 2% of 1.5 shots per game. That puts him in the last 2% of the league, of Europe, top 5 leagues. But he's ranked in the bottom 6% of passes received. That's why he only has 1.5 shots per game. So that means that, you know what? If his goal conversion, it puts him in the top 5 strikers in Europe. Imagine he got balls. Imagine he got supply. Imagine that. facts speak for themselves, of course. Maybe we should sign Sorloth. He's a better experienced striker instead of Xerxes. Throwing names out there now, We can mention every name in the sun. In the past, where stories of players complaining of Eric Ten Hag's training methods when Ten Hag was too rough, when players got too lazy. I believe the players were lazy, so I agree, Jim. They were also complaining that they were going home in the dark a couple of years ago as well under obviously Ralph Ragnick. You know what? I don't trust those players until they prove me wrong, Jim, of course. Big up Gamer TV, how you doing? Big up Sales Low, you're reading very fast though. The chat, absolutely. You got to do the business, guys. You got to do the business. Got to read every chat, guys. Absolutely. Thank you. The 102 people online right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like if you're new. Smash a like as well, guys. I'll be absolutely appreciated. Nobody can match Anthony's work rate. Yeah, he's good work rate. Talent is a different question, of course. Rasta Stocks, I'd like to see what the hamstring coach is going to do with the injury-prone players. Of course, hamstring injuries has been in the plague for us. Absolutely. I'm going to see what Rubin Amorim does with those injured players, of course, guys. We're going to have to wait and see what happens in the future, of course, in regards to that. Obviously, none of us know what Rubin Amorim is going to do, but obviously, I've heard rumors about Rubin Amorim being very ruthless and being a silent assassin. So, you know what? Let's hope he lives up to that name. Yes, Anthony played a right wing back position. Absolutely, Gloria. He did. Right wing or right wing back. So, how will Rubin Amorim improve the training structure of these players so we can go forward? They're going to have to do what he says. They're going to have to abide what he says. And just actually, if he puts the team together, you know, they're going to have to train very hard. Because one thing about Rubin Amorim, he's very intense in his training. He's one of the most intense managers in Europe. And that proves with his running stats at Sporting Lisbon. Those players are going to have to run. Those players are going to have to work very hard, guys. And you know what? I love it. I love it because at the end of the day, do you remember these same players were complaining that they work too hard, they're running too hard, they train too hard? Of course, under Eric Ten Hag's training, Eric Ten Hag used to give players extra training when they used to lose games. Unfortunately for the Manchester United squad, they lost a lot of games. So they did a lot of training. So that caused a lot of moaning from some of those players. Those players, the best thing for them to do, and it's in their best interest, is to win football matches on the pitch. And that's what they need to do. No more moaning. Get on with it. Win bloody football matches. We're not falling for the old tricks anymore. We know that it's not the manager's fully the manager's responsibility. You know, we know that. We know that you have down-tooled. We know that you're lazy. We know that you're feigning injury. Now it's time for you to show us. Prove us wrong. Prove us the fan base wrong that you can do it, that you can challenge, that you can move up that league. Stop talking. Do it. No, I don't want to hear anything. We go again. I don't want to hear that anymore. I want Man United to move up that table now. You know what I mean? Burj Khalifa, move straight up in that lift, up quickly. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want for my Man United team to do, of course. Big up, Liza around me. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Ian Wright, at the age of 26, Arsenal, many more developed. Absolutely. There you go. Absolutely. 24, 20 to 26. Obviously, I mean, why didn't they sign him from Woolwich Arsenal back in the day? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, people develop at different times. He went to Crystal Palace at 24 years old. Arsenal at 26 years old became one of Arsenal's. At one time, he was Arsenal's top scorer until Thierry Henry came along. But he became Arsenal's top scorer at 26 years old, guys. So at the end of the day, 26, 27, at the end of the day, and an England international, I firmly believe he should have went to the 1998 World Cup. I thought Glenn Hoddle was out of his mind not to bring Ian Wright, by the way, and Matt Letizia. But at the end of the day, he done very, very well at that age. Everyone develops at their own pace. Some people are different. Some people have bad knees. Some people have bad back. Some people have bad head. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is at the end of the day. And you know what? We can't judge everyone and paint everyone in the same brush, of course. People develop at different times. You know what I mean? Sikra Sal Cheeto is going to be promoted to under 20. Let's go. Madavant said, I can't wait for it. Yeah, he's going to be promoted. He's going to be fast-tracked into the side, guys. He will be fast-tracked into the first team very, very soon. Don't be surprised if you see Cheeto Obi Martin in the Man United squad very soon, guys. Quicker than we ever could have imagined, guys. Of course. Absolutely. Yeah, Ian Wright was a bricklaying in a construction site, and he's like, absolutely, River 7. There you go. So you know what? Everyone is different. Life is multi-layered. You know what? You cannot judge everyone the same. You know, a lot of people go, oh, Lamine Yamal. Everyone is different. Not everyone, you know, gets the opportunity. Not everyone is a generational from birth. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Cristiano Ronaldo was not a generational from birth. Cristiano Ronaldo became that world-class player at about 22, 23 years old. Let's not forget that. He was scoring 1 goal in a season, 2 goals a season. He was known as the one-trick pony. He practiced, He practiced. Some people, it comes naturally. You know what I mean? Some people it comes naturally, unless you take, substances like Lionel Messi. Some people come naturally. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't. So Cristiano Ronaldo had to work at what his craft. He had to work at what he had to do. He had to work at it. And look what happened. Became the world's best player, of course. And the GOAT for me. Chichi, wow, Rubin was kicking football like he's a new player signed. Absolutely. And making tackles as well, Gloria. Can he play for Man United? He can play for Man United right now. Can he play against Ipswich Town? He might as well become a player manager. He's only 39. You know what I mean? Ronaldo's playing at 39. He might as well become a player manager, isn't it? Big up, of course. Irfan, good morning, Sal. Big up, bro. Big up, Irfan. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, my man. Absolutely. Sal, Man United are looking at Pulisic. I don't want more. No, we're not. Don't worry, we're not getting Pulisic. Don't worry, that's just rumours. We will not get Pulisic. Christian Pulisic is not on Man United's radar. Man United have looked at Pulisic, but we're not interested in Pulisic. Christian Pulisic is at Dortmund. Let him stay there, of course, guys. You know what? Let him do what he does. I don't think he's at Dortmund. Where is he at the moment? I've forgotten where he is, to be honest with you. Absolutely. I think Marcus Rashford, only position for him is striker under Amorim. I think he might possibly... No. Lies around me. No. He's played there before. He's fouled miserably. He can't hold up the ball. He can't bring players into the game. He doesn't run their channels. He doesn't run enough. He can't play that position. Absolutely not. It's either going to be Rasmus Højlund or a new striker or Xerxes. We cannot play Rashford as a striker. He's not a striker, guys. And another reason Rashford cannot play as a striker, because the only way Rashford succeeds as a striker is when we do the long ball over the top and he's on the man's shoulder. Basically, long ball team. We're not going to be a long ball team, guys. And he doesn't have the intelligence as a striker to keep on side, stay on side, and make those runs. He doesn't. Unfortunately, my friend, Am I worried about what's going to happen with Mazraoui? I hope Amorim chooses him and not sell him. He won't sell him. Don't worry. Things will be okay. We've got a squad there. We're going to rotate. The things are going to be versatile. There will be a versatile team selection, of course. So in regards to those contracts that stipulate Rashford has to play a percentage of amount of games, who adds that in his contract? His agent. His agent and his brother, by the way, guys, just so you know, his family member, which is a problem, I think. His agent and himself. Yeah, I would have sold him myself. Rashford has no work ethic. He's just lucky to have come through the academy. Absolutely, Irfan. Now, here's a question for you, Irfan, and you guys in the chat. If Martial, right, didn't get injured, obviously there was a young fella, I've forgotten his name. It defeats me at the moment, the name of the young player that played for Man United. The young player got injured as well. Martial and him got injured, and then that led to Marcus Rashford coming into the team. If we didn't give those injuries, would Rashford have broken into the team? Do you think? Would he have broken into the team? That is the question. Better than Arteta and Herzog? Absolutely. He's the best young manager in Europe. He will win things at least, unlike Arteta and stuff. Of course, big up. I saw Shaw was not wanting to play for Ten Hag. Shaw is really a chameleon. I would sell him now. Myself, you know what? I've been a big fan. People know that I'm a fan of Luke Shaw. I think he's one of the best left backs in the world when fit. But when fit is the big question, isn't it? That's the big question. Now what I've seen Luke Shaw, I've seen his attitude, I've seen the way he feigns injury, and I do believe firmly that he is feigning injury a lot of the time. I'm done with it. I'm done with a Luke Shaw. I'm really done with him, to be honest with you. I don't want him to play for Man United anymore. I think we need to move on for that. We need players who are willing to play for the badge. We need players who are there when you need them. There's certain players within that squad, and Jose Mourinho did say it many years ago, there's certain players that will play through injury, play through the pain barrier. But there are also some players who get a little scratch or a bruise and not play for months and weeks, of course. So, you know it, of course. I fully agree. Respect Ten Hag, absolutely. Absolutely. MR looks like he's on MK Ultra. Absolutely. He's going to have to impress. Obviously, Rubin Amorim is aware, of course. He is aware, of course. Well, Adiri's a spam. Kazi, big up, of course. Big up. There are stats and then there are facts. Absolutely, mate. The eye treatment is what I like. JSC, normally dyed hair indicates MK, especially players who are new in the club. Dyed hair, especially blonde dyes, indicates that. Yes. 32 likes and 100 watching. Hit the likes, man. Big up, fan. Big up, my friend. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sal. Respect for reading every comment. You deserve a praise and your patience and kindness. Thank you very much, Jim. I do my best. I try my best every time. Of course, Sniper Man City is a bad form now. We need to take advantage. Absolutely. Start winning our games before Man City get back into form. We don't want that, do we? Haaland is ghosting. Yeah, and that won't last long, though. Let's not forget. Man Advance Sid. Sal, will you take Xabi Alonso next season if he wants to join United? I personally will not. I trust my manager. No, I won't. He's ex-Liverpool as well. He's ex-Liverpool. And he's not only ex-Liverpool, he's freshly ex-Liverpool. He's fresh. A lot of people will throw at me some at Busby and stuff like that. I know. But he is fresh Liverpool. Proper Liverpool. We've got Rubin Amorim. I believe he's the best. I believe he's the best. And I believe he will prove that. So I'll see you next month, boy. Big up, Man Advance Sid. Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy. Enjoy. Sal, Wheatley or Chido Obi? I don't know. I haven't seen much of them both. At the moment, I'll say Chido Obi Martin, but Wheatley has a lot of potential, of course, as well. Obi Martin is a unit. So, yeah, absolutely. So, Kukunki yesterday, did you see what a unit he was at 16 years old? Absolutely incredible. What is he eating? Ronaldo's hard work, Messi is skills. Ronaldo had to work to where he gets to. Messi obviously had performance. Big up, Man Advance Sid legend. Big up. Of course, Staban Young is playing at 39. Absolutely, there you go. Rav 7, Rashford is not natural centre forward in my opinion. Not at all. No way. Good morning, Adele. Oladele, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Surely we will get back to the glory days. We will, by hook or by crook. Oladele, we will get back to where we're going to go. You know what? And when we do get to back where we're going to go, you know what's going to happen, isn't it? We're going to celebrate on this stream. We're going to have a good time. Tonight's going to be a good night. Absolutely, we're going to have a good time. You know what? We've been put through the mud this last 10 years, of course, guys. We've had a lot of adversity happen to us over the last 10 years. A lot of pain, a lot of defeats, a lot of thumpings, a lot of annihilations, a lot of cookings and all that business on top, of course, guys. It's about time Man United come back. And you know what? The best teams always rise to the top. The cream always rises to the top, as they say. And I'm ready for it. And I'm all for it. I'm all for Man United coming back. I believe we're on the verge of coming back. I believe it. It might not be this season. We might not win anything, but we're going to be back eventually. I firmly believe we will win the Europa League anyway, something like that. But you know what? We're going to come back eventually. We're going to challenge for that title eventually. We will be there. We're not that far away from the title. It is only November, of course, guys. Let's not forget. We can come back. Now, you never know what's going to happen in this league. This league can be, you know what, funny. Football is funny. You know, football is unpredictable at times. And one thing you have to do is expect the unexpected, especially in the Premier League. There's league titles, have been lost with 16 points ahead. You know what I mean? Man United won a league with 16 points being ahead. In, January, they were 16 points ahead. Man United have lost titles being 8 points ahead with a month to go. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it can happen, of course. Islands actually get easy shrugged off the ball because they're young, Sniper Man. They're young, Sniper Man. You've got to give them a chance. They're getting stronger, of course. We don't know if Osimhen will get shrugged off the ball as well. We don't know none of these players as well. I mean, you're talking about Lookman. He's been shrugged off the ball, before by Man United. I'm sick of us getting Chelsea rejects. I don't want Pulisic, anyone. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Pulisic, that's the one, Uchichi. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, everyone. Got to go around the world and have no excuses not to play well. We have a coach now. We have to wait, David. Calm your titties, my friends, guys. We have to wait a little bit. You know what? It won't happen straight away. It's going to take time to implement the style because it is new. The most important thing at the moment, guys, is to win football matches. I would say that style of play comes afterwards. It's about winning football matches, in my opinion. Big up, David, though. Absolutely. Stabbo and Ole would have promoted Rashford eventually. Ole might have. I wouldn't have. I would have seen his weaknesses, of course. Fergie once said availability is the best ability. Get rid of injury-prone players. I agree. Absolutely. Reverse 7. It is absolutely spot on. That is the gospel, that is. What about Coney's injury? Maybe a week or two at the moment. Nothing serious. Don't worry about it, Sanjay. So I'm so sad that Martial never worked out of these years. He was with us except for his debut a goal against Liverpool in 2015. That was world-class goal, but he never became great because he was lazy, Jim. He was lazy and he feigned injury, just like Luke Shaw. He had that mentality. He had the mentality where, that a lot of these players have at a football club at the moment. You know what I mean? He had that same mentality. All the talent in the world, lack of work ethic. And that is the problem. Sal, you are well connected. I was just looking at your channel the other day, and some people I saw you interview. Well, you are really well. Thank you so much, Rasta Stocks, for looking at me. My channel has been around a long time, of course. I did do interviews, pre-recorded interviews before and stuff. I've also not uploaded a few as well. I haven't uploaded a few, you know what? And yeah, thank you for the love, Rasta. Big up yourself. Thank you very much, my friend. So, did you see Ronaldo basketball? Brilliant, mate. Absolutely. He's the GOAT, mate. I don't care what anyone says. He is the GOAT, the GOAT, guys. Absolutely, the GOAT. I'm confident Rashford will not have broken into the team. Side note, he is not as fast as many of us believe he can overrun. Absolutely, Irfan. I agree with you totally, 100%. Those who know ball know that Rashford would not have broken into that team. He would have went on loan. James Sal, what time do you start your birthday stream next Monday? Same time as I start the Breaking Dawn. The same time, guys. Don't want no Liverpool player near our club. I remember the Suarez incident. I would never forget Liverpool. Absolutely. Do you remember that? Absolutely. And they, you know what? They printed T-shirts, free Suarez. Do you remember that? They printed T-shirts, free Suarez. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Puskas 24, absolutely. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Thank you very much, Irfan. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Thank you very much, everyone who's joining me this morning. Of course. We are start winning and we'll be singing that song tonight. It's going to be a great night. I got a feeling, and goes a little something like this. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was singing. You got it. Here, 12 back, come back in the winner league, 3 points, and we are fourth. We can still do it. It'd be one of the greatest comebacks of all time, wouldn't it? It'd be one of the greatest comebacks of all time if we won the league. Probably the greatest, if I'm being honest. All the players are under the coaches, and after Fergie never managed the players. Imagine if Fergie, the forwards, the Miriam. I don't think Fergie would have signed them. Attitude. Fergie used to look at attitude and lifestyle. He wouldn't have necessarily signed those players necessarily. He never signed Ibrahimovic. He never rated Ibrahimovic. And to be honest with you, Ibrahimovic, every time he played against Man United during the 90s, those who remember, he didn't really give us any problems. He wasn't like, wow. You know what I mean? It's just that talent has regressed, which has made him shine even more. Of course, Martial Ballon d'Or. So, you just smoked my day. How can we not end up with Tony a trophy this season? We have to, mate. We have to. I'm going for Europa League this season, mate. I'm going for Europa League. We have to win Europa League, absolutely, and get the Champions League. Big up, Joseph. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Get him a top-class player. Absolutely, I agree. Don't believe all that rumours about we got no money and stuff. We're going to be spending modestly in this transfer window. Don't believe anything what you hear, guys. It's not always the truth, especially UK media. Sal, are you with Sky? No, I'm in the UAE. We don't have Sky. We have Todd. I have all the channels in the world, all the football in the world, guys. Absolutely. Now we have that coach that's going to manage the players. We'll see a difference in our player system, attitude, and commentary. We'll start playing as a team and not individuals. How long would that last, David? It did happen under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it did happen under Erik ten Hag as well. So how long would it last is the question of the day. That's the million-dollar question, as we know. True, sir, I believe it, and only lazy mentality, not just Martial. So many of the Fellaini was lazy too. Absolutely. They don't run enough. They don't sprint enough. They're not intense enough, in my opinion. We're only 4 points of the top 4. We can do it. Absolutely. I'm positive. This is a new day. In my opinion, guys, the season starts this week. The season starts this week. This is Ipswich Town is our first game of the season. That's how I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing as Ipswich Town as the first game of the season, and hopefully we win our first game of the season, because that is how I'm seeing it at the moment. So David is saying Man United have been not following the FFP, so we will have to be quite transferred. That's an excuse. Don't worry about that. That's an excuse. Don't worry. We'll get around that. Jim Ratcliffe before we said we'll get around that. Rassastots, like our brother Grayo says, they will always walk alone, because they have absolutely, they will always walk alone. Absolutely. I will love Ibrahimovic. He was mentally a monster, just not Man United level back in the day. If you believe it or not, Sir Alex Ferguson didn't rate him. And every time we used to play against Ibrahimovic back in the 90s and the early 2000s, he didn't really give us any problems. I'm being honest, guys. He didn't. I've seen him close up back in the 90s. I went to a game he was playing. He looked like a lump, but he didn't really cause us any problems. But a good player in Serie A. Fellaini was a clutch like McTominay, yeah. But Fellaini had shame of both were sold. Fellaini and McTominay are not going to get us to where we're going to be. Absolutely not. McTominay suits a lower league in Serie A. That's his level. He's not good enough for the Premier League, in my opinion, unless he plays for an Everton or something like that. He's good for a Napoli-type team. He's not good enough for Man United. And I will say that as a man who supported Man United for a very long time. He was not good enough for Man United. McTominay's the past, he was just not good enough. And he's not the only one. There are a number of players who are not good enough, right? Serie A is his level. You just have to admit that Serie A is his level. So you're way better than the football commentary they put to me to sleep back in the day. I used to listen to him, and that is boring, definitely. I used to listen to Radio 5 Live when I was young. When I couldn't go to games, I used to listen to Radio 5 Live back in the day. Radio 5 Live. Lukaku, yeah, their level, Slugman. It's their level. That's their level. And you know what? The Serie A is a slower league. It's not as intense as the Premier League. You know what? You can move a little bit slower. You can afford to not control the ball. In the Premier League, you have the ball. Who said it? Who said it recently? Fabio Capello. Fabio Capello said Xerxes is not doing well in the Premier League because the Premier League is quicker and more faster. In the Serie A, you can get the ball, you can look around, look right, look left, like crossing a zebra crossing, look left, look right, look forward, and then pass the ball. In the Premier League, by the time you've looked right, the ball is gone. That is the Premier League. The Premier League is a different kettle of fish. It's different. The Premier League is the best league in the world. It's quick, it's obviously. Big up, Jim. Big up, my friend. Big up, big up. Capital Gold, I used to listen to Jonathan Pierce. Yeah, Capital Gold. I used to listen to Radio 5 Live. Absolutely, Radio 5 Live. When I couldn't go to games. Caradona doesn't deserve Serie A. Farless Vidia, yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's an elite player. That's what I'm talking about. He's an elite player. That type of player is an elite player. A good player, of course, guys. Absolutely spot on. David, I'm really worried about the trophy. I'm not really worried about the trophy. It's we play in the system. If we finish fifth, I'm happy to see progress with a good. We're very, very important that we qualify for the Champions League, and we won't do that if we come in fifth, David. We have to try and qualify. So the Europa League is very important. We should be worried about that. We should be. We have to qualify for the Champions League. It's very important going forward and help Amorim as well. Some people think La Liga is better. It's not. Absolutely not. It's a two-league team. It's a two-team league. Premier League's a lot more difficult. And you know what? A much more array of teams reach Champions League finals in England. Like you've had Tottenham in the Champions League final. You've had Chelsea in the Champions League final. You've had Liverpool in the Champions League final. You've had Man City in the Champions League final. You've had Chelsea, Arsenal in the Europa League final. You've had Liverpool, Tottenham in the Champions League final. You've had Chelsea, Man City in the Champions League final. You know what I mean? Over the last 5-10 years. Premier League's much more, it's a better league. Previous managers agree every time I tried to discipline players, they still focus on making the environment conducive, friendly, and install a winning culture. It was all about survival. Personally, I think, Irfan, I don't know what you think about this, but I think that Erik ten Hag gave up in the end. I feel like he wanted the sack, he wanted the money, and he gave up in the end, if I'm being honest. Why we signed Osimhen then? No. Why signed Osimhen then? Absolutely. Because he's a good player. He's a good player. Not every player is rubbish. He's a good player. He scored goals. He's top scorer. Won the league. I've done it in the Champions League as well, Brian. Is winning Super Cup in your list? The Super Cup. We'll have to win the Europa League first to get in that, my friend. Sal, I'm going to get some rest. Glory go, Man United. Big up, Rastar. Have a good one, my friend. Have a good one. Enjoy your sleep, my friend. Ten Hag looked shattered in the end. Rav 7, I don't know about you. He looked like he gave up. He looked like, you know what? When I saw that game against Fenerbahce and I saw Mazraoui as the number 10, I thought this guy wants to sack. I was saying, you know what? Imagine this, right? You're Ineos. Imagine you're Ineos and you see, obviously, Eriksen in the midfield and you see Mazraoui in the number 10. And when you spent all summer chasing Ugarte and chasing Xerxes, you're thinking, what's going on here then? You know what I mean? And, you know, it did annoy, obviously, Ineos. And I personally believe that Erik ten Hag did it by purpose. I believe in the end, Erik ten Hag wanted the sack in the end, if I'm being honest about it. But if Real Madrid is a Super Cup, we can't win it. I think so. If it is in the Super Cup. No, if Real Madrid win the Champions... No, whoever wins the Europa League goes in the Super Cup. Whoever wins the Champions League goes in the Super Cup as well. So that happens in the summer. Not now, of course. But not Premier League proven. Not yet, but who is at the end of the day? Who is at the end of the day? Neither is all these Sporting Lisbon players. They're not Premier League proven, are they? You know, you have to look, and it's a weaker league than Serie A. You know, we have to look at that as well. You know, when we're talking about Diamande, we're talking about Ignacio, we're talking about Arroyo, we're talking about Gutierrez. Let's not forget, guys, Gutierrez fouled in England. You know what I mean? And that's one thing we have to say. You know what I mean? But obviously, Osman done it in the Champions League, and Gutierrez is doing it in the Champions League now. So life is multi-layered. I look at players and I look at them and I study players. I actually look at study players. I don't just look at them and think he's going to be a failure. There's certain players that have proven to be failures in England. Osman hasn't been proven to be a failure in England. McTominay was a failure for Man United. He gave his all, but he wasn't good enough. You know, there's certain players. Lukaku was a failure for Man United. Did his all, but wasn't good enough. And that's one thing I would say. We haven't had Osman yet. But one thing about Osman, you know what? He's a beast. He's a monster. You know, and he's been top scorer in Serie A. You know what I mean? And it's one of the most hardest leagues to score in. And that's what I would say in regards to that. Don't paint everyone with the same brush, of course. Sal, duty calls, meetings are boring. Big up, Earthfan. Have a great day, my friend. Big up yourself. But why Mazraoui is number 10? He wanted to lose his job, Sniper Man. So what did you think of about Vidal years ago when he tried to sign him? Knew he would not get him. He went to Barcelona, didn't he? He was playing at Udinese, went to Barcelona. Don't think he was good enough at the time. Although I would say that I did want him at the time, Jim, if I'm being totally honest with you, because our midfield looked a little bit weak. I did want him at the time, but I just don't think he had that je ne sais quoi, of course, guys. You need. But Sal, do you think we can beat Real Madrid? Yes. Yes, I do think we could beat Real Madrid. Absolutely. We beat Barcelona last year. We could beat Real Madrid this year. Absolutely could beat Real Madrid. Of course we can. We got Rubin Amorim's army, guys. Rubin Amorim's army. Absolutely. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Amorim. We got Amorim, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm happy Vidal didn't come. He was a Barcelona player. Absolutely. Vidal, Mohawk. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. When I think of Vidal, I think about obviously Alexis Sanchez, because he played for the same club, obviously Udinese, if we all remember that, of course, guys. So yeah, I think about that, and it puts me off a little bit. Sal, is it true Varane played for us? Juan Sebastian Varane played for us. Unfortunately for Juan Sebastian Varane, Varane was a very talented player, but unfortunately for him, we had the best players in the world. We had Paul Scholes, we had Roy Keane, we had those type of players, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs in our team. It was very hard for someone like Varane to shine. If you brought Varane to Man United now, he'll be probably like our best player. Trust me, right? But back then, we just had an array of an elite players that have proven it at the top level, winning titles. He was a good player, though. But he did play for us, yes. 2001. Rubens, Reds, absolute reverse, and that's what it's about. We don't care about anyone else was far off Real Madrid. Who cares about Real Madrid? We can beat Real Madrid, Sniper Man. Who are Real Madrid? They lost 4-1 to Barcelona. We beat Barcelona, the same Barcelona side, similar anyway. We beat them, and we will beat Real Madrid. You don't think we could beat Real Madrid? Of course we could beat Real Madrid. What the hell, man? Of course we can. Nothing special. We can beat them. I believe we can. Rubin Amorim's army. Absolutely. Rubin Amorim's army. Let's not forget that. We are Rubin Amorim's army. This is a new day. This is a new dawn. This is a new light. This is breaking dawn. This is what it's all about, guys. A new dawn, a new day, a new light, a new Manchester United. Rubin Amorim's army, of course. Kylian Mbappe, Kylian offside. Bad buy for me. Bad buy, Sniper Man. I knew he would be a bad buy. Real Madrid overcooked it with Mbappe. They overcooked the bread in regards to Mbappe. I don't think they needed him. Jim saying, thank you for the stream. Respect you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you as a brother. Bless you and family going for dinner. Enjoy your dinner. Bon appetit, Jim Watkins. Almost called you Jim Ratcliffe. Jim Watkins, of course. Big up yourself. Have a great day. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a fantastic show. Have a brilliant day. Have a brilliant afternoon. And you know what? I'll be back later on for Chatterbox, bringing you the latest news. Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Now we're just... they got Endrick as well. They're just buying everyone to replace. Oh, my God. Who are they going to go for next? They're going for Garnacho, ain't they? They're not having him. They're not having him. Not at all. Not under my watch, guys. Have a great afternoon, guys. Have a great morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me. And you know what? Don't forget to join me later on for Chatterbox. Much love to you all, you great people. Don't forget to subscribe and smash a like on the way out, guys. It's important. Have a fantastic time. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner. Peace.